Good morning. I'm higher vibrations and so are you. And these are the Ascension Symptoms for December 12th, 2021. 12/12/21. Those numbers sound so cool together, don't they? Before I do go into this, first of all, thank you all for attending the live event with Guardian of Orion the other day. That was really, really a good and enjoyable experience for me, and I hope that you all got as much out of it as I did. We do plan to do another one at some point in the near future as well. Also, stick around for the end of this video because that's usually when I get a message. If you're interested, that's usually when it comes through. So I am so sorry that I haven't done an Ascension Symptom video for a little while. A lot of stuff has been really kind of turbulent lately. Not in a bad way. It's just, I'm sure all of you know, there's been a lot of shifts and changing and emotional expressions occurring that have just kind of needed a lot of attention. And I guess that's the worst time for me to not be available for you. So for that reason, I apologize. I will try to do better at least having a new video every week. So let's go over all of the Ascension symptoms that are persistent and have been going on for some time. And then we'll kind of explore some of the newer ones. So a lot of people have been experiencing these for quite some time, but if you're new to this, know that you're not alone. Ascension symptoms are something that we are getting a physical, a DNA upgrade, an experience that is not common or even anticipated to ever occur in a single lifetime is happening right now. And as a result, we're having a lot of these strange symptoms and occurrences with our physical body that are unexplainable by the medical standard. A lot of us will go to doctors to complain about these things and looking for a solution, assuming there's something actually wrong. And most of the time, we leave the doctor's offices with no advice at all, except you're healthy and you're healthier than you've ever been, perhaps. Sometimes we'll be given a prescription for some type of medication, assuming or hoping that those symptoms will subside as a result. But, that's not always going to help us. Doesn't mean that that's not a good idea. If you feel the need to visit your doctor, please do so. I am not a doctor, and I'm not suggesting that I'm not trying to discourage you from doing so. So, the most common one that people talk about that I experience all the time too is the ear ringing. The ear ringing, it's changed in so many different ways. For me, my most profound beginning in that experience was March 2020. That entire month, I was like, there's something going on. And that was the first time that I really recognized this as an Ascension symptom. And I didn't even know what that was before this. So it probably was happening before that. But that's still going on. It's changing. It fluctuates. There's popping in the ear, flicking. The sinuses are popping as if there's like an air bubble or something like that. I don't know how else to explain it. The dizziness that's occurring has been something that's not consistent for every person. I did have periods of time, I think it was in the summer, where it was pretty consistent. And it was so pervasive that I actually chose to not drive. I felt like I was not safe to do so. And remember, when any of these things are going on, if you feel like that you're not capable or safe in doing something, then I don't know, I would suggest listening to your instincts, right? Also, the appetite thing, appetite coming and going, strangeness in that, unplanned fasting, periods of simply not eating or tea fast is something that I find myself doing. And again, it's not planned. It's something that my body simply isn't interested in food at that moment, and I don't know about all of you, but I was raised in a way that there was something unhealthy that you should be aware of and caution yourself from avoiding. Skipping a meal or even not eating for a day was something that was very unhealthy. And that's not true. In fact, most religious groups practice intentional planned fasting at least once a month. There are some cases who, maybe in someone who is diabetic or something like that, where it's unsafe. So as long as you know your body and you know your parameters that you can work within, then you're just fine. Also, the change in the way that we eat. The way that I eat is completely different. It's not just slightly different. It's like a 180. I was a carnivore. I would pick my protein before I decided what I was going to cook for a meal. And often I would eat only the protein in certain occasions. To now I don't eat any meat. This is not what I'm suggesting that you do. You do you. However, whenever your body asks you to do something, perhaps listen to it a little bit. I found for me, and that's why I brought up the meat, is that every time that I ate something that had meat in it, I would become ill. At first, I was just worn down. It would make me feel just energyless. And then it got to the point where my body would get rid of it as quickly as possible. And to the point now that if I'm near something like that, my body actually, like, I feel nauseous just touching it. Like, I feel just not like I'm going to vomit, but that, no, and that's my body saying no, and so I don't. There are other things that are like that for me as well, not just meat. There are certain types of foods that I grew up to understand as something healthy. And for me and my body, that's not the case. At least it's not any longer. So just listen to your body the best that you can. Our bodies have their own unique language. They're telling us what they want, what it wants, and what it doesn't. It's just that we've spent so much of our life, at least I did, ignoring those signs and symptoms and just going with what I thought I was supposed to do or what I had been doing up to that time. So just try to listen to your body. Those strange cravings that you're having right now, those are actual real things. That's your body saying there's something in that food that I'm aware of that I need as your body in order to work sufficiently and to move on through this moment into that next octave that we're moving toward. So allow yourself that if it's possible. And limiting things that are known to be toxic to us in some way. There are a lot of additives and things added to foods, and they're not always great for our body. One thing that we can all do, no matter what our financial restrictions, is to increase our water intake. And that has been such a big thing for me. It's very important to me to always have water. And I'm finding more and more that to be true. Excuse me. That's something else too. A lot of us are having throat chakra activations occurring right now. That's happened on and off for a little while for me. I would say with it the past 6 months to maybe even a year or so, we've spent a lot of our existence in a place where we've kind of been gagged to tell our truth, to speak our truth, to say what's true and what's real and what's actually going on for us, eliminating the ability to be our true authentic selves for a lot of different reasons. How many of us started to talk about these things that we're going through and then had these questioning looks and even been faced with the possible consequence of losing our freedom for being called crazy or something like that. And now is a time that we're starting to get to use our voice and speak our truth. And as a result, a lot of us are having throat and mouth difficulties. There's a lot of oral trauma that I've been hearing about, as well as my own, but particularly the throat stuff. Every time I start to talk about something that feels like it's important, I feel like I need to cough. And that's a choice I get to make right then. Am I going to move through that, or am I going to allow that tickle or whatever it is that's stopping me from doing it to stop me? I'm in a place now in my world. I'm not going to be stopped. There's things that need to be said. And if there's one person this could help, then it needs to be done. And so I'm here. A lot of other stuff is going on, but I'm spending way too much time describing just a couple. The night sweats, hot, cold flashes, the vibration feeling experience in our core, the cool visual stuff, where the light flashing, electric life kind of stuff, the water coming alive, activating, becoming aware. I don't know how else to describe it. The most cleansing thing that I can do for myself right now is taking a bath, and salt bath. I choose to use a pink Himalayan salt because it has that love element to it that I'm really encouraged to reach toward right now. And so that's what I do. But a lot of people use a lot of different kinds of salt. I can't think of the name for that one kind of salt that's really typical, even though I have it in my bathroom, but I'm sure I've already put that down there below. So there it is, see? That's kind of salt too. Epsom! Anyway, so we recently went through this experience of separation, this feeling of disconnection, this sudden and profound. It felt like being in a chamber with no sensory experience, like a gray room. And it was very alarming. I didn't know what was going on in it, and it was disturbing to me. And I was reassured the entire time. I have some amazing higher energies that interact with me and encourage me, and as well as all of you. You know, that's something that really needs to be said, is that all of us, every one of us, is always surrounded by angels. The archangels are waiting, excited to participate and to help us. They want to, and they are ready to. But we have free will. And if we don't ask for help, they cannot. They can't help you if you don't ask. I know it might feel silly if you've never done it before. And that maybe there's something that taught you somewhere along the way that meant you're not strong and that you're weak or something like that. I had that experience too. But we are giving them the beautiful gift of helping. That's what they want to do. But you have to ask. Help will always be given to those who ask for it. Always. To ask in a place of meditation is the most effective, but it doesn't have to be like that. Simply in your mind or with your words or in some way a gesture, help me. You know, you don't even have to exactly use those words. Bring me aid. You know, there's a lot of things that we have baggage regarding our language. And it's all BS, guys. It's not real. It's stuff that's meant to keep us in the darkness, to keep us in that place where we feel weak and powerless. When we are the strongest, most capable of all. We came here not long ago, truly, with all of the tools. Everything that is needed to do this job. This job isn't that hard in a spiritual way, but for us in this experience, in this density, it is hard. It's hard when we do it by ourselves, when we do it without our tools. So please, ask for help. Reach out. Interact with us, with others like you. You're not alone. Like I said, we came here together. We are one loving, thriving organism. Just like the Amazon rainforest, we are one from and of God. All you have to do is reach out, comment, participate in this community, in any community like this. We are small little groups all over the world, gathering together, jumping through the mysterious time zones, through the grace of the internet, in order to allow us to see that we are strong, we are powerful, we are many, and it is time. You're not alone. Please feel free to email me. I will email you back. Comment on others' comments. If you know somebody this video could help, share it. That's why I do this. I do this to let people know, to let you know that you're not alone. I know what that feels like, just like all of you. And when I went through that experience where I felt disconnected, that wasn't a punishment. That wasn't a bad thing. It's a reset. We are all going to go through that in some way, along with going through the dark night of the soul. Again, probably. And then we get to slowly choose this time who and what we are connected to. We've been connected to everything all at the same time for so long that we had to shield and break and block and try to. Now we get to pick. And it's easier because we know what we're doing. Before, it just kind of happened. And that's what's going on. You're not alone. If something happens, if you see something that is alarming to you, send it love. If it is of love, it will answer back. If it is not of love, it will flee. Please call the Archangels. They are there for you. They are there for us. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for your service. We are together. And we're almost there. You got this. I hope you're having a lovely journey. Don't give up. I'm sending you so much love. Aho Blessings.